In October 2022, a solo rock climber from Japan was making his way down a steep ridge on Mount Futago in Saitama Prefecture. What started as a calm day in the mountains quickly turned into a desperate fight to stay alive. His camera shows him moving carefully down the rocky face, the drop below stretching so far that it makes your stomach twist just watching. Everything seems routine until faint, strange breathing sounds echo from somewhere above him. Moments later, a dark shape appears on the rocks overhead. Thinking it's a dog, the climber barely reacts until the truth hits him. It's not a dog at all. It's a bear, and it's charging straight at him. The climber shouts in shock as the bear closes the distance. In pure instinct, he manages to shove it back. He tries to scare it off with loud cries, but the animal keeps coming, refusing to retreat. A frantic struggle follows as he kicks and pushes, doing everything he can to hold his ground on the narrow cliffside. Finally, the bear backs off and disappears up the ridge. Shaken but still standing, the climber pulls himself to safety and waits until he's sure the danger is past before continuing his descent. Later, when reviewing the footage, something important becomes clear. A smaller bear appears shortly after the attack. It seems he had crossed paths with a mother bear protecting her cub, explaining the fierce aggression. The climber ended up with scratched, sprained hands from striking the rocks and fending off the animal. But considering how close he came to disaster, walking away with only minor injuries was nothing short of incredible. What's up, Silent Nightmare family? I have something huge to share with you today. If we hit 100,000 subscribers, 10 lucky subscribers will each receive a $50 gift card. You can choose any gift cards. That's $500 in total prizes as a thank you to this amazing community. It's super easy to enter. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, like this video, comment below with your favorite Silent Nightmare video or your scariest camping story. That's it. Let's hit 100K together and celebrate the only way we know how, with a massive giveaway. One winter night, Gary Reed stepped into the deep snow behind his property, carrying only his camera and a parabolic microphone. He didn't even bring a flashlight. Moments earlier, his neighbor had reported hearing terrifying screams echoing through the woods, and Gary wanted to find out what was going on. It all began when his neighbor, Tom, texted him about a backyard fire. Gary walked onto his deck to snap a quick picture and politely turned down the invite. That's when he heard it, high-pitched, chilling screams cutting through the cold night air. At first, he assumed it must be Tom's kids playing or arguing outside. But then another message came through from Tom. He had heard the screams too, and he was absolutely sure of one thing. They weren't coyotes. With that, Gary grabbed his recording gear and stepped into the darkness, following the sound into the snow-covered woods.
I found one of our old skidoo trails right here, so it's kind of packed. I can walk here. So there's the fire over Tom's place. They're pretty loud over there, so I don't know if that's going to pollute my recordings. If this thing starts up again, you'll know it was loud. I could hear it from the deck. It was like kids screaming and playing. Or fighting. I thought maybe they were fighting too. So, I'm not sure what this is. It could be an animal. But I would sure love to get a recording tonight. There goes the neighbor's dog. Last time the screaming was happening, the dog was barking as well. I've got the parabolic dish turned on. So it's been 20 minutes. I haven't heard anything. It's been quite a while. I haven't heard the dog anymore. I'm 300 yards behind Tom's house where they're having the fire right now. I've just been sitting here quietly. There goes the dog again now. You don't think the parabolic dish is heavy and this camera is heavy until you hold it for about 10 minutes. My arms were like rubber. I had to set them both down. It's frustrating. I can't believe I heard that from my deck. I just thought because they were having the fire that the kids were outside playing or fighting. I should have known better. I gotta turn the dish back on. I can hear whistling. I can't tell where it's coming from. I can hear it right now.
Only later, while reviewing the footage at home, did things take an even stranger turn. Half of his video files were missing, not corrupted, not damaged, just gone. Entire clips had vanished from the camcorder with no explanation. In all his years of filming, he had never seen his equipment fail like this. Between the eerie screaming in the trees, the mysterious disappearance of his footage, and the sudden reappearance of gear he thought he'd lost, something in those woods wasn't adding up. And to this day, no one can explain what was calling out from the darkness that cold winter night. Owen, the creator behind Exploring with Owen, has built a strong following, despite being only 18. His channel is known for late-night explorations, eerie locations, and the occasional guest, though he usually prefers going solo. But on November 9th, 2024, he took on what might be his most intense challenge yet, spending an entire night alone in the woods near his home, right as early winter brought freezing temperatures. Loaded with camping gear and supplies, Owen stepped into the forest, and almost immediately realized this wasn't going to be an ordinary trip.
I just got dropped off with all my stuff, but I was walking just barely with my stuff and I heard a giant crash over there, over in that direction. It literally sounded like a tree falling over. I don't know what that was. I just really hope there's not people in this forest, because that actually scared me so.
Not even 5 minutes into his walk, something large crashed through the trees nearby, his first sign that the night ahead would be anything but peaceful. After about half an hour of hiking, he found a spot that would work for camp.
Alright, we are now inside the tent, fully away from the mosquitoes. As you can see, I brought blankets, I brought a pillow. Over in this corner we have some miscellaneous stuff like GoPro, camera bag. I have some extra clothing for later when it gets cold. And we have a can opener for my beans. Now guys, I'm probably gonna inflate my air mattress and set up my bed. I just heard a stick snap. I'm not even kidding. Hoping that's just the wind. Alright guys, the air mattress just got done inflating, but I think the pump is low on batteries because as you can see, it's really squishy still. But once I lay down and my weight disperses, it's... Is that a gunshot? But once I lay down and my weight disperses, it's... Is that a gunshot? I literally think I just heard a gunshot. I don't know if that picked up on camera.
But as he settled in, the woods responded with new warnings. A sharp twig snapped somewhere outside his shelter. Moments later, a loud crack, something like a gunshot, echoed from far off in the darkness. The camera didn't pick it up, but Owen's reaction made it clear how much it shook him, especially with this being his first solo overnight. As night took over, he tried to calm his nerves. He ate, watched a few videos on his phone, and eventually stopped filming to try to sleep. Then, around 2 a.m., the real fear set in.
Guys, I just woke up. It's like 2 a.m. and I just heard footsteps outside of the tent. Literally woke me up. It was so loud. They went away though. I don't know. I feel like I kind of want to go out and check, but I think we're gonna go out and check. I might just walk around and look at the area. It is so dark out. Look at this, guys. I can't even see a thing on camera. It's so dark. Let me see if my phone flashlight's better. I think that's a little better. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely better. I'm just gonna use my phone flashlight. You know what? I'll use both. Here's my bike. The footsteps came from like over here. They sounded like it was right here. My tent is right there.
Alone in a pitch-black forest, Owen stepped out of his tent with a flashlight to investigate strange noises. But there was nothing. No animal, no person. Just silence and darkness pressing in on him. Trying to stay composed, he retreated back into his tent. That's when the footsteps returned, this time captured clearly on camera.
But I'll pick up the camera if anything else happens, but we'll see you guys tomorrow if not. Peace. Hello? I'm not sleeping here. I am not sleeping here. I legit forgot I was recording that. I'm shaking so bad. Look at my hand. Look at my hand. Am I still recording? Okay, I am. I literally heard footsteps come from that way and go all the way around my tent. I said hello and no response.
Slow, deliberate movements around his campsite, yet no figure ever appeared. That was the breaking point. Convinced something was out there circling him, Owen made the decision to cut the trip short and get out of the forest as fast as he could. For his first solo night in the wild, it was an experience he won't soon forget. Western Nowhere brings something rare to YouTube: raw, unpolished adventures into places most people will never step foot in. The creator travels alone, guided by a sharp eye for forgotten history and a deep love for wild, remote landscapes. In this video, he's trekking above 10,000 feet in the mountains of the southwestern United States, searching for a 1,000-year-old hunting camp hidden somewhere in a dying forest. He starts the journey confident, laying out 3 simple goals: find 2 ancient hunting camps and recover a drone he was forced to land earlier due to strong winds. Surrounded by towering pines, he notes how heavy branches could easily fall and injure someone. The risk is there, but he pushes forward. Then the hike takes a strange turn. He begins hearing something he can't explain. A haunting, almost musical wail drifting through the forest. It doesn't happen just once. It repeats. It moves.
Do you hear that? What is that singing sound? It's like coming in front of me and behind me.
One moment it's ahead of him, the next it's behind, then off to the side. He tries to rationalize it. Maybe elk calls, maybe wind slipping through the trees. But the sound keeps returning with the same eerie tone, never changing. It's unsettling, like the forest is singing to him from every direction. As he searches for his drone, he steadies himself on a branch that looks ready to give way.
Is that the wind blowing through the trees? Oh, it's like 4 or 5 people wailing. Tell me you hear that. I hope my mic is picking that up.
Another small moment of tension stacked on top of the strange sounds. None of it is enough to turn him back, but the forest definitely feels off. Even he admits that with noises like this, it's easy to understand why some people believe in Bigfoot, even though he's pretty sure that's not the case. Eventually, he spots a break in the trees and continues his search. After weaving through thick brush and fallen limbs, he finally finds his drone. With that task done, he heads toward his second goal.
See, right there is a strong wind gust, and that's when it should coincide, but I didn't hear it. And I've sat through a few wind gusts, and I don't hear it anymore. At all wind speeds, at all wind speeds, at all wind speeds, at all wind speeds, I don't know if the mic picked that up, but I could see why people believe in Bigfoot. There's some weird sounds out here. I don't believe it's Bigfoot. I'm just trying to get to the mystery of it as to why they all make the same sound. I could see a clearing through the trees. I gotta get to my drone. I've been trying to solve this mystery of the singing trees. Sniff out that drone. Now it looked like there was a cow trail that cut through here, and I was trying to land it near that cow trail, but the signal cut out, so I don't know. Oh! Found it. The battery died, but it's safe. So now I could return to the mission at hand. And let me explain a little bit more about this place. All right, so based on what I know, the site that I'm looking for should be along this ridgeline.
Locating a historic campsite once used by an isolated indigenous group, the hike becomes tougher as he drops downhill and works around tree stumps and broken branches. But when he reaches the edge of a lava flow, an important marker on his map, everything changes. Suddenly, the trip feels less like a spooky walk in the woods and more like stepping directly into forgotten history.
Starting to see the first rocks. There's no way. I just got to the edge of the lava flow, and clearly there's been a wall built here. I can't believe it. Like, what are the odds that I would find this quick? Right there is a wall, and it seems on this side is a wall as well. Now, how high that stood, I don't know. I could guess maybe high enough for someone to build a roof over. Maybe. But that's clearly brought in by humans. And look, here's this white rock that's in the mix. Is this?
At the edge of the rock field, he spots what looks like an old stone wall, then another. He imagines how the rocks could have supported a roof long ago. Someone clearly built this place with purpose. Even a white stone stands out among the darker ones. Through all of this, that strange wailing continues. Sometimes distant, sometimes close, but always there, echoing across the trees, refusing to fade. So, what was making that sound? Wind slipping through dead branches, echoes bouncing off the canyon walls, other hikers, or something else entirely, something the forest has held onto for centuries. Whatever the answer, Western Nowhere walked away with more questions than he started with.